What's happening, guys? My name is Reece and I'm the founder of Sleek Geek. Thanks for everybody turning up today. I'm just going to be sharing my insights briefly on the collectible industry and how Sleek Geek aim to revolutionise that. But before we get into all that, just a wee bit about us and the collectible industry in general. So, Sleek Geek is a collectible brand that leverages blockchain technology to bring innovative products and unique experiences to collectors. And the collectible industry is massive. It's 500 billion to be exact, and that's larger than the gaming, film and music combined. And I personally believe there's a massive overlap between Web3 products like NFTs and collectibles and the cult communities that rally behind them. I mean, almost everybody's a collector, right? Almost everybody's collected something. Maybe you were a wee guy collecting Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now you're all grown up, but still collecting Pokemon cards? Or maybe that's just me. Maybe you're into vintage stuff like coins and stamps. Either way, everybody's a collector, and this is the reason we want to tap into this industry. So season 1, this was our introductory product range, where we licensed Web3 IP to make high-quality, limited edition collectibles. They came in the form of NFTs that could be redeemed for the physical product, which meant we had to create a custom checkout service for our collectors where they could connect their wallet, fill out their shipping details, pay for the shipping, burn their digital figure so they could receive the physical and also a digital loyalty card all in one transaction. So NFTs as a proof of purchase or as a receipt, I believe it's a unique way to distribute goods to buyers, as it gives them instant access to trading options and cutting out, middlemen, fees and scams that you could face traditionally. And speaking of scams, let's talk about counterfeit goods, because counterfeit goods is a real issue that not only plagues the collectible industry, but many industries like fashion and so on. And counterfeit goods make up over $250 million of the toy subset in the collectible industry. They make up over 30 billion of the global collectible industry and over 2.5% of the world's trade in totality. And that's almost $500 billion. That's pretty crazy numbers. And that's something we believe we can help using blockchain technology. And that's why we've been working on DCOAs, which are digital certificates of authenticity. These are verifiable tokens that are stored on the blockchain that prove your ownership. They're tied to a physical item as they are installed with NFC chips that can be scanned or tapped to unlock the token. And using the power of Solana's token extensions, the token can transfer from one wallet to another when scanned with a new device. Now, this is essential for if the collectible is sold to a new order or is sent away for grading. And this is a pretty powerful tech that can be used across many niches and verticals, think stock taking, logistics, and so on. But for now, we're going to move on to another pillar and cornerstone of the collectible industry, which is IP and licensing. So I believe IP, whether it's your brand's logo or branding or your mascot or unique character, I believe that's your brand's most powerful tool. If you look at the early stages of the NFT space, people were betting on digital real estate and the metaverse, but in the end, it was profile pictures that really won the battle for NFTs that cycle. It was the ability to express yourself and connect with a like-minded community. Much like how we love to flex our favourite brands or wear merchandise to our favourite franchises, these NFTs became a way for us to express ourselves and also act as an online digital identity. And licensing and partnerships has been proven to be a great way to get your niche Web3 brand into the mainstream and in front of a wider audience. Exhibit A, you can see Luca Nets here. He's the founder of Pudgy Penguins, and he may or may not be making an appearance at Blockstart this year, which would be massive. Shout out Colin on that. And it's really cool to see a Web3 native brand on the shelves with a prominent household brand name like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he's managed to get his figure brand and stores worldwide. So he's in thousands of Walmarts across America, and he's in Smiths in the UK, for example. And this has been looked at as the Trojan horse effect, because on the outside, what you see is a nice consumer product. You see a toy. But it actually comes with QR codes that you can scan to unlock traits and like digital collectibles and experiences. So what seems like hundreds of thousands of like figures in mainstream stores, it's actually hundreds of thousands of NFTs infiltrating the mainstream, and it's really cool to see. And next to that, we've got Gary V's brand, VeeFriends. These guys have licensed or partnered with Masters of the Universe to make this cool kind of Skeletor figure. And this is a great example of one of the biggest challenges you'll face if you have a character brand, or any brand for that matter. It's how do you get people to care? Essentially, how do you get people to give a shit? We live in the attention economy, so how do you grab the attention? If you partner with a brand that's already universally loved with a place in people's hearts, then you're off to a head start. Next to that, you can see OK Bears has partnered with Zara. And again, it's really cool to see a Web3 native brand in retail like this, and they're on the shelves next to prominent brands such as Pokemon and Marvel. It's really cool to see. And then we've got a Bored Ape Yacht Club who have partnered with a Bathing Ape on a limited edition fashion drop. And what you'll notice is limited edition toys, limited edition fashion drops. These are parts of the collectible subset. And in my opinion, it's the perfect demographic to approach due to the overlap in nature we spoke about before. But on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, we have had a fair few cases of IP infringement in the Web3 space. So we have seen projects use copyright being taken off OpenSea. Similar to that, there was a Solana project called McDegens, which were these pixelated fast food workers with McDonald's style outfits, and they were sent a cease and desist from McDonald's, so they had to blur all of their art across all marketplaces. So there is, consequences for investors, collectors, and buyers here. And one more kind of funny example. Who remembers when Tarantino released NFTs that were parts of the Pulp Fiction script? Well, he was actually sued by Miramax for this. They own the rights. But it just seems kind of harsh and funny since he is the creator of the film. But the point is, you could be one of the biggest directors in the world, Quentin Tarantino, or a small niche Solana project. These companies are watching, they will take action, and this can affect Web3's legitimacy. And if you're building a character brand or any brand, this is something you should take into account to avoid legal troubles. So we spoke a bit about IP, licensing, infringement, and traits, but how do we tie all that together to make sense? So let's touch back on the official deals like Luca and Gary V. They're taking their Web3 brand and they're licensing it outbound for mainstream attention, which is key and should be done. But how can we flip that and bring these big franchises into Web3 to collaborate with Web3 native projects while also reducing the amount of unlicensed traits? And that would be OLTs, officially licensed traits. We spoke about how IP is one of your brand's most powerful tools and how profile pictures won the battle for NFTs this cycle. So it only makes sense that the next step is to customize those, because customization is expression. Even better with franchises we all know and love. This would allow collectors to connect even more with their collectibles. I like to look at this as like the Fortnite method. So Fortnite, they have a whole catalogue of these popular licensed traits that people can apply to their character. And people love it, they go wild for it. I still remember how my nephew was losing his mind when they released Venom skins, like, bro's going crazy. And it's actually interesting for these games like Fortnite and Fall Guys, they're actually free to play, and their whole model, the way they make revenue, is through these digital assets. We're living in the digital age, and these digital assets are like really becoming more and more prominent. And companies have always leveraged licensing to gain traction and get a wider audience, but it's just even more true and effective when it comes to digital collectibles. And it's also important to note a lot of big brands and franchises are interested in or have at least tried to enter the Web3 space, but a lot of them, they struggle to navigate or find PMF for their products. So I believe this could be a great, authentic way to bring these big franchises in while also starting a new meta in NFTs. Maybe even pumper bags, bro. But we spoke about it before, Solana token extensions. Yeah, we do build all our tech on Solana, but there's so many options. You know, you've got Bitcoin, you've got these L1s, you've got L2s, L3s, right, I'll stop there. People get the point. It's like we're in the age of the onion where there's all of these layers. But why Solana? Well, Solana has lightning fast transactions. It can handle thousands and thousands of transactions per second, and there's a lot of, you know, talented developers and clients working on integrations that will increase that drastically. But not only is Solana super fast, it's also super cheap. Solana's gas fees are only a fraction of a penny, so that's why I like to call this the people's chain, because anybody can use Solana, which means anybody can use your product if it's built on Solana. There's also a large global community of entrepreneurs, content creators, developers. There's just so many talented people all around the world building on Solana to create a more, you know, strong ecosystem. And there's a lot of resources as well. You have your Super Team UK, which has been sponsoring and supporting Blockstart. And there's super teams all over the world in a lot of regions. And the whole goal is to find people who are building on Solana and to help them and empower them. There's also a lot of like hackathons, workshops, and there's also a founders villa in Dubai that founders can go to and network. So in general, there's just a lot of resources and a large global community. So that's briefly why we are building on Solana. So to summarize my thoughts on collectibles and how SleekGeek believes they can revolutionize it. One would be distribution. NFTs is a proof of purchase receipt that you can redeem a physical through a custom checkout experience. So this creates a more efficient system for suppliers and buyers. Two would be authentication. Certificates of authenticity that are verifiable tokens stored on the blockchain. You could redeem these via scanning or tapping NFC chips, and they send from one wallet to another when scanned on a new device. And that is the key, that it's tied to a physical device, a physical item, and not the wallet. And lastly would be trait licensing. Officially licensed traits from big franchises that could be applied to your NFT. An authentic way to onboard these massive franchises and also start a new meta in NFTs. So everybody can feel free to scan this QR code if they want to follow us on socials and join us on our journey to revolutionize collectibles. We are working on a whole host of new products and a new collection this year that is going to tie together and showcase everything we've spoke about today. So we're really excited for that. That's all I've got to say today, so thanks everybody for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much, guys. I just muted.